Hey, this is SCV Rush from the UEN.com giving you guys another audio commentary between QXC and Axslav. Today we're going to be showing you guys a game on Steps of War. I believe One Man Zerg, our other audio commentator, is covering QXC and Axslav on Metalopolis. It's between Protoss and Terran. It's always an interesting matchup between the two races. Protoss is more dynamic, whereas Terran is more technical. So we'll see how this game unfolds. I believe both players are going for something pretty standard, 9 pylon and then 12 gateway or 13 gateway, and the Terran player 10 supply and 12 barracks. So it's very standard stuff. Most professionals have the standard build where they usually stick with it and then they transition into a different type of build or different strategy depending on the situation. Now, I'll give a short introduction between Axslav and QXC. Axslav is top 7 in the US for the top 200, and I think Axslav is definitely in the top 50. So though these two players are very qualified and very good players, so we'll see what type of strategy they'll bring in this matchup. So he's putting down his, he does a fast refinery. You can see that most people put the barrack down and then keep producing SCV until he has enough money to build the refinery, whereas QXC actually builds the refinery first before he stopped production of SCV, which is really interesting. Let's see what Axslav is doing. He is just doing standard assimilator, gateway, another pylon, and probably cybernetics core or another gateway. Most likely a cybernetics core, because Protoss player really want to get that early stalker out to have control over Reaper harassment, Marine pushes, Marauders, things like that. He's getting his gas, pretty standard stuff. You can see that the Protoss player has higher harvester count because of Chrono Boost. Chrono Boost is really amazing ability that I think everyone should use it as much as possible in the beginning of the game to get that economic advantage. Because right now you can see the income, you can have 100 more minerals per minute for the first 5 minutes. That's 4 or 5 minutes, and that's really a lot considered that's technically, I don't know, like 400 minerals more than the Terran player. And you can see Terran's being very clever here, and he's just scouting, seeing that he has a probe here. It's always a good idea to scout around your base, especially against a Protoss player, because he could technically be doing a void ray rush, hiding his tech building here and then send a void ray out real quick, or any kind of fancy harassment. And you can see that QXC is doing a very good job scouting, moving his SCVs, and I think the Stalker is going to come out, but the Reaper is also going to come out. We'll see how that's going to unfold. It looks like the Stalker is going to come out in time. He did get a fairly fast cybernetics core just to stop this, because this is such a close map, or a close distance from each other's base. That's what I meant. You can see that the Protoss player is pulling away in SCV count, but the Mule accounts for 3 SCVs, so it's pretty even, I would say, at this point. And the SCV goes down. Stalker actually runs faster than the SCV. It's one of the fastest ground unit of the Protoss army. That's why Stalker is really good to get it out early. That's why he gets the cybernetics core and stuff like that. So he's going for a second gateway and probably robotics facility or 2 more gateways, depend. There's the 4 gateway build, the 2 gate robo build, the 3 gate robo build, depending. Oh, he gets to the robotics facility. It's always a good idea to do that, because it's hard to scout Terran bases because he puts a bunker down. What are you going to do? You can't do anything, you can't scout it, you can't send a probe down. So it's always good to get a fast robotics facility to get the observer out. That way you can see if they're going some kind of Banshee harassment, or if he's getting more Reapers or Marine Ball or things like that. It's always a good idea to do that. Right now you can see totally the Axslav is pulling away in the SCV count here, even though QXC has been producing SCV non-stop, simply because Chrono Boost is such a great ability. You can see that the income is actually pretty close, simply because both bases are saturated, and additional probe won't help you get more income. Whereas Mule is really effective in this case, where you get an additional 3 SCVs harvesting the minerals on top of the number of SCVs you're harvesting at saturation. So we can see that there's harassment going on. 3 Reapers is the optimal number to take down probes. It takes 1 shot to kill 1 probe at a time, and I believe he took down maybe 3-4 probes. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, so 5 probes. That's pretty effective. He just only lost 1 Reaper, and they're really good. Not only did he kill 5 probe, which is about 250, or it is 250 minerals, he also had a glimpse of what the Protoss player is doing. He saw that. He definitely saw the robotics facility. He basically saw everything. And you know, instead of wasting a scan, he just, you know, ran by his base with these fast reapers and got all the scouting information he needs. He saw he's a couple of stalkers, 1 sentry, and 2 zealots. So in this way, the Terran player has a good idea of what the Protoss is building, what type of tech he's going for. Right now he knows that he's probably getting Observer, getting Colossus or Immortals. So the Terran player can go for some anti-measure, and the Protoss player expanded pretty early, or not pretty early, I would say pretty, he doesn't really know what the Terran player is going for, yet he expanded. So that's, I would say, a little risky. But the Terran player, oh, now he's the Terran player scout. I was just going to say, Terran player doesn't know, and he might just, you know, get away with it. But now the Terran player knows. And you can see that Terran player is going to make an aggressive move here recently. He actually was trying to kill the Observer, but apparently the Observer got away in time. So when the Observer is outside your base, you can see this little transparent thingy right here. You can kind of see. I'm not sure if you can see on YouTube, but you can definitely see it in the game. The the Observer has this transparent looking that it's kind of not fitting to the graphics. Now we can see that the SCV is coming. The SCV rush with the Marauders and the Marines is pushing into the Axslav's base, and Axslav does have a big army here, and Axslav pulls all the probes down to fight, and look at the force field traps some of these Marauders, and look at the micro on the Immortal, just perfect enough to get away. Oh, and this Immortal falls, but I think Axslav is going to be okay here with that many probe blocking it and having a couple Stalkers and essentially warping in Zealots. Wow, that was actually kind of close. Both sides committed their entire harvest, or his expansion, a lot of probes and SCVs into this battle because it's so crucial right now. 5 Marines and a Marauder. Right now we have another Immortal coming in, and that's going to be really difficult on QXE, and there's really not much you can do. You just force retreat. And it looks like Axslav pulled out ahead in this battle here with his expansion secured, and QXE probably lost so many SCVs and that he probably won't recover. It's very difficult for a Terran to recover after losing that many SCVs, since SCV takes so much longer to build, or it doesn't take longer to build, it takes slower to build because you don't have the chrono boost, and he has 2 Nexus compared to 1 Nexus. So that definitely Axslav has the upper hand right now. You can see 2 Immortals. They're just really powerful against Marauders if properly used. You can see that earlier he moved his Immortal upward up the ramp, micro his unit. Axslav is an excellent micro player from Warcraft 3. You've seen some, if anyone plays Warcraft, you can see some of his amazing macro moves for in his playstyle. He plays random, I believe. It's really interesting. So we can see that the Terran player is just scouting, seeing what type of units he's building, but at this point you can see that his economy is severely hurt. 33 harvesters to 22. And running only on 1 base instead of 2, right now I think he's getting a Thor. I saw the army earlier, and he's getting a Thor, and that is arguable because I'm not sure if QXC realized that Axslav has 2 Immortals out when he scouted his base with that SCV, or now he has 3. So Immortal Thors aren't exactly the best choice. I would go for more tanks and try to gun down these sentries and stalkers and let the Marine take care of the Immortals. And you can see that the Thor does 30 damage, which is way more than 10 Immortal shield 10 max damage. So we'll see how this unfolds here. He's transferring some probes here to an unknown location. Okay, I think he sees this coming. He's using some of the probe as a meat shield just to come to. Oh, very nice force field here, blocking half of these Marines, and a lot of these Marines are stuck here, and you can't really focus fire anything. And I think the Terran is in a lot of trouble right now. He's about to lose this game. Defending that Thor, but it doesn't really matter when Immortal doing 50 damage a shot, and QXC calls good game. So yeah, this is very interesting because most Protoss players are very afraid of this Marauder Marine push. But all you have to do is get a couple of sentries. They are an excellent unit to stop Marines. Sentry Guardian Shield reduces all damage or all projectile damage by 2, and Marine only does 6. So you technically reduce the Marine's damage by 33%. And Stalker does a pretty decent job against Marauders, but not, you know, pretty even, I would say. And Immortal just really hard counters any Marauder army. So this is a really nice, interesting army composition. You guys can take a look. We'll have more Axslav series. Axslav is generous enough to send us his replay pack. So there's a lot of interesting replays. Hydra versus QXE, or Hydra versus Axslav, Huck versus Axslav. So, you know, if you guys like this audio commentary, subscribe to our channel. Visit theuyen.com for additional strategies and commentary. And that's about it. SCV signing up.